Verse 25, Ulladhu Naarpadhu, 40 verses on reality given to us by Sri Ramana Maharshi. உருப்பற்றி உண்டாம் உருப்பற்றி நிற்கும் உருப்பற்றி உண்டு மிக ஓங்கும் உருவிட்டு உருப்பட்டும் தேடினால் ஓட்டம் பிடிக்கும் உருவற்ற பேயகந்தை ஓர். He is now describing the nature of the ego, the psychological sense of I, the bodily sense of I. It does not have a concrete form. So at the end of this verse he calls it a formless ghost. உருப்பற்றி உண்டாம் உருப்பற்றி நிற்கும். It exists holding on to a form. Ego has always to depend on some form, which means upadhi, which means a body, either an animal body or a plant body or an insect's body or a human body. So the ego exists holding on to a form. உருப்பற்றி உண்டாம் உருப்பற்றி நிற்கும். It always stands there holding on to some form. உருப்பற்றி உண்டாம் உருப்பற்றி நிற்கும் உருப்பற்றி உண்டு மிக ஓங்கும். So it feeds on this body. In the sense, all the body's experiences are gathered and formed into a software. So, as a man is born, as he grows up, a boy or a girl and then a teenager, as the experiences go on accumulating, this ego also swells. He becomes bigger and bigger. He becomes fattened with the content of the experiences of the body and mind, of course. So, he or she, we cannot give a gender. It, ego is it. It exists because of the body. It always holds on to a body and it subsists with the help of the body. It doesn't have any independent existence. உருப்பற்றி உண்டாம் உருப்பற்றி நிற்கும் உருப்பற்றி உண்டு மிக ஓங்கும் உருவிட்டு உருப்பற்றும். He says, sometimes in our garden we would have seen, in a plant with the leaves, we would have seen long worms. They'll be crawling on one leaf. And that worm, before leaving this leaf, it will crawl onto another leaf. It will hold on to another leaf and then only it will leave this leaf. The same way, Sri Bhagavan says, this Jivatma, this ego, this ahankara, this leaves this body holding on to another body. This explains the process of birth, rebirth. Because at the time of death, it is said that prana, this air, vital air, it grabs all the memory and then moves out of the body. Sometimes it waits for another body or it immediately gets another body. So with all the memories of your previous lifetime, you have come now. I have come now here. There is no other escape at all. What about the memory that I accumulated 100 births ago? It is there. 50 births ago, it is there. Last birth, it is there. If we don't liberate ourselves by doing Atma Vicharam, self-enquiry, we will be born again with all the memory that we are accumulating in this lifetime. Tatradam buddhi sagyogam labade paurvadehikam, says the Gita. It says, all the memories of your previous birth will get latched onto your current birth. That is called samskara, the predispositions born out of those memories. If you do a little research, you will understand that we have some tendencies which were not there with our parents or grandparents, but we have brought about a certain tendency. For example, my tendency to study Sri Bhagavan or Advaita Vedanta, I understood after a lot of struggle and hardship that I must have been in this path in the previous birth, is the conclusion I have come to. Because it is so predominant. The predisposition or samskara, if you put right indicator, it will make you take a left turn. If you put left indicator, it will make you right turn. Such is the power of prarabdha. Of course, Sri Bhagavan later gives the formula that if you do vicharam, you will escape even the monstrous grip of this prarabdha karma too. So, urupatri undam urupatri nirkum, urupatri undu miga ongum, uruvittu urupatrum, தேடினால் ஓட்டம் பிடிக்கும் உருவற்ற பேயகந்தை ஓர். Here Sri Bhagavan gives us an encouraging truth, very encouraging. He says, if you search for it, the ego, you ask, hey, where is it? Just search inside. Where are you? Where are you? Hey, ego, which is your residence? You are saying I, right? Now tell me, where are you sitting? Which is your residence? Do you have a cell phone number? Do you have email ID? Where are you? Are you here? Where are you? If you start searching, Sri Bhagavan says it will flee, it will run away. There is this story. In marriage halls, a guy was there, a foodless guy, but he'll always dress up nicely and then go to all wedding halls. And he'll act as if he were a friend of the bridegroom. So if the bride side, they asked, he would say, hey, I am related to the bridegroom. Sometimes the bridegroom side people come and ask him, he would say, hey, I belong to the bride side. This way in a hall, he was there, he ate nicely, right? And then when discussion arose, these people started searching for this person. And when they started searching for this person knew, oh, they are all searching for me. And he fled, he ran away. Sri Bhagavan says, the same way if you really search for the source of ego, it will run away like this bridegroom's friend. This is the same point is said in Upadesa Undiyar too. He says, Manathin uruvai maravadusava manamendundu illai undibara marga nerarkum idu undipara. See, now we live with the psychological sense of I, or called ego, ahankara, right? Our bodily sense of I. We live with this day in and day out, year in and year out, right? A lifetime we live with this I thought, I am Sentivel. The beauty is, Sri Bhagavan says, if you search for the source, hey, where are you born, man? Where are you sitting? Where are you operating from? Which is your office? Which is your residence? Show me. If you start searching for it, he says, you will see that it does not exist. Very surprising. Yeah, it is difficult to assimilate to start with. He says it will run away, it will flee. Then what will be left? Your true nature will be left. Brahman nature will be left. Atman will be left. My nature will be left. And he says, Marga nerarkum idu. He says this is the path which is straight for everyone. Which means it will work for everyone. Not that it is reserved only for those people who study Sri Bhagavan. It is reserved only for those people who study Shankara. Reserved only for those people who study Advaita Vedanta. No. Anybody who is intelligent enough, anybody who has some common sense, anybody who has some inquisitiveness, anybody whose intelligence is at work, anybody who is open-minded, if he does vicharam, hey, ego, you are trying to rule over me. You tell me which is the source. What is your source? Where are you born? Which is your birthplace? If you go on inquiring like this fellow will disappear and our true nature will be left. Very encouraging information. Yes. First few times when I studied this, it didn't enter my heart. Then it struck me. So it is so simple? Yes. Because Sri Bhagavan says, from Brahman, ego arises. Right? Ego arises. On the rising of the ego, he says the body is projected. He says body does not exist. Body is projected by the ego. And through the senses, the world and universe is projected. Sometimes very shocking. Yeah, we think the universe and the world, they exist independently. Whether we are there or not. Sri Bhagavan says, no. Because your ego is there, you are experiencing all this. Now make the ego subside, they'll all disappear, he says. That is Advaita Vedanta, because the final state of Jnanam, realization, is described as Prabhanjam illon non pin. I am one who does not have the universe at all. As a Jnani, if I am enlightened, I alone am without a second. Everything is one. And if you think the universe exists, it exists because of the presence of Brahman, the vast, infinite, unborn, undying, non-waxing, non-waning. It doesn't wane at all. So non-waning Brahman. And that serves as the substratum for the existence of the whole universe. And upon realization, you will say, there is no such thing as body, there is no such thing as mind, there is no such thing as world, there is no such thing as the universe. Everything is erased in Jnani's experience. Only Jnanam prevails. So this Agandai, this ego, this so powerful ego, when you start searching for it, the way we searched for bridegroom's friend, it will disappear. We will come to know that doesn't exist at all, Sri Bhagavan says. Yeah. Now what is left for us? We need to think about it, do vicharam, and see if it is all true. If you have disbelief, it is fine. But open-mindedness is a must. Otherwise, we will get stuck for lifetimes. No harm is going to come. Okay. If we don't liberate ourselves, we are going to be born again in more or less similar circumstances, and we are going to have this similar kind of life. That's what Dr. Brian Weiss says in his book, Many Lives, Many Masters. The girl who revealed her 19 of her births had lived almost in similar conditions. Not much of difference. She had been a maid, and she had been a maid for almost 19 births. It could vary from person to person. The point here is, if you search for the source of ego, it will topple down, it will subside, it will disappear. This is an assurance given by Sri Bhagavan, experiential. We are not here to question Sri Bhagavan, because he is the compass, he is the beacon, he is showing us the way. Let us think about it open-mindedly. Urupatri undam, urupatri nirkum, urupatri undu miga ongum, உருவிட்டு உருப்பற்றும் தேடினால் ஓட்டம் பிடிக்கும் உருவற்ற பேயகந்தை ஓர். It exists, ego exists, holding on to the body. It becomes fat by feeding of the content of body-mind experiences. And then if you search for it, it will flee like a ghost. Only if solid existence is there can it persist. It doesn't exist at all. It seems to exist. That is why upon inquiry, it runs away. Let us practice this. Let us think about it and do vichara.